trades where I didn't know exactly what was going on. I saw some negative news on it, and then also just knowing that they had bad news 2 days ago, and also 440 is like a multi-year low. Was a big reason why I even considered looking at or even considered buying put on that. So if you have questions on that, more than welcome to ask. But yeah, just kind of a random trade for me today after Tesla. I mean, I don't even want to go look at this chart, but I guess for the sake of it, I mean, my trade was here, which just really sucks because that went so much lower. But they adjust my average from 60 premiums. That's so weird, Duco. I mean, I've never even heard of that before, to be honest with you. You may want to do a little research on it. Oh, sorry, guys. You may want to do a little research on that because, again, I always kind of badmouth Robinhood, and I wonder if that would be something that would happen on a different brokerage or if it's just more so a Robinhood thing. I don't know. But to adjust a bunch of equity positions to me makes no sense. I don't know how you can do that. But I've never heard of that before. So what else? What else did you guys trade today? Farouk, how'd you do? I know you're the biggest bear in the chat room, and I was hoping that you took that Tesla short today. Yeah, exert sleep, exactly. Okay, look at that. Big move in the 956% today. What? Oh my God. How did you do that? You buy some SPY puts? Oh, if it's assignment with cash secured puts, okay, then I'm not super familiar with those, as you know, so that may be the problem. Well, nice, Farouk. Are you starting a new account, or did your account get blown down to this $10 amount? Oh no. Well, are you trying to correct those mistakes? I know you try, but I would like to get some sort of plan in place to help you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, imagine if that was $1,000, 1,000 to 10,000. The percentage is there, but I don't want you to think like that. Sir, sleep, you asking me or Farouk? I know, Farouk. You have some really incredible days, but I feel like you're just going for home runs so often. Okay. SMCI ripping to levels not seen since 8 hours ago. Let's see about that. Interesting. We're down a little bit, huh? But they have earnings. What went on today? Stock surges after company files delayed 10K. So once again, they're delaying their 10K report. That's kind of interesting. I've never heard of companies like delaying this kind of stuff until SMCI. So that's interesting. So I don't know. Maybe this comes back up to that like 65 level. Maybe we start ripping on this again. I'll put this on a side watch for sure. Did you trade it, Subi? Anyone new, if you have questions about the chat, any sort of tickers, about me, whatever it is, feel free to ask. I do this only once a week, so this is your time to get some questions in. If you don't know how to access the chat, if you just click on the little chat button right next to the free live stream that you just clicked on, that'll give you, it should say open chat if you kind of hover over that. But we had a pretty awesome trade today on Tesla. There was, I mean, a ton of money left on the table. I could have easily made a couple $1,000 for sure, but I kind of I feel like I sized too small on it, and I was a little too hesitant with it. I don't know. I'm a breakout trader, so it's tough for me to trade things as they come back in. When there's market sell-offs after like a bull run kind of thing. It's something I want to work on. But if there is a clear reason why the market is selling off as hard as it is, off the open, I would want to be a lot more aggressive with this stuff. The only problem I'm seeing is, like the last, Monday and then Friday, we saw those big sell-offs, right? And honestly, it was in the first hour. And when it's not clear to me, I'm like, whatever it is. And this morning, sure, I could have showed up, and some of you probably may have thought the same thing, but I could have shown up and just thought, well, market sold off the last 2 trading days really hard off the open. Why don't I try to short it extremely heavy and try to catch this next big move? Well, to me, the way that I think is when it's not clear to me exactly why this is selling off, in the back of my head, I'm thinking this puts the odds in favor for it to bounce if I'm simply just trying to short, aggressively because the market's selling off, right? I know that kind of sounds ridiculous, but just because the market's selling off really hard and honestly like straight down, that doesn't give me a reason to go in heavy, right? And if I simply just, like I said, show up and tell myself, well, Ethan, the market sold off really hard the last 2 days. Why don't you just try to get aggressive and short it really hard? Because, chances are it could happen again today. When I put my trades into the hands of the market, just kind of hoping and guessing if it's going to come down, that's when I'll lose big, right? So I showed up today with the downside setup, which to me made sense. And honestly, I think it was a little bit better setup than I gave it credit for. I just know from past experiences, whenever I put myself in a situation where I'm guessing and I'm just kind of going off of, well, this is what it did the last 2 days, you should go in heavy, you should try to make a lot of money on this next move down. That's like the scenario when the market could bounce. And now that we're 3 days into these pretty hard sell-offs, in my mind, I'm thinking there's a higher chance that we're going to bounce now than continuing to sell off. Why is that? Well, you guys know what like a hot hand is in basketball, right? Like a heat check. That's pretty much a fallacy, right? The more shots that you make in a row, the higher chance there is for you to miss the next one. A lot of people think it's the opposite. Well, you're on a hot streak, you've made a lot. Well, if I'm a 30% three-point shooter and I've made 8 in a row, there's a very, very high chance that I can actually miss the next one rather than make it, right? And a lot of people kind of misinterpret that, thinking that there's a higher chance that you're going to make the next one because you're on a hot streak. And it's actually the opposite. There's a much higher chance statistically that you're going to miss. And that's a big reason why I haven't been as aggressive as I feel like maybe I could be. But, again, if there was a clear reason why the market's selling off this hard, there's some tariff stuff going on, some stuff in China going on, which, makes the market come down. But I think a big reason why the market's selling off so hard is because we've been in such a strong bull run. So there's a lot of people that have been buying and buying and buying and buying. And once we get a little bit of market weakness, everyone freaks out and panics and sells. And at one point, that bottom's going to be put in quickly, and you're going to see a bounce. Look at something like Meta. To me, Meta is a perfect example. I talked to you guys about Meta when it was up here. Like, I have no interest in going long because I think there's going to be a pullback at one point. We got one pullback, probably some dip buyers here, right? Next day pullback. Those dip buyers kind of got shaken out. Next day, bigger sell-off, probably more dip buyers. Another sell-off. Those guys who are buying these dips are just getting crushed. They're having to sell along with people, actually shorting stock. Another sell-off, right? So a lot of people have gotten crushed. But I think the further we come down here in what has been a really strong market, the easier it's going to be for things to bounce. So to me, I'm not really looking to press the short side anymore. Could I make a little bit of money? Sure. I mean, you guys are seeing me make like, $300-400 a day, which is somewhat small from what I can typically do in a day, because I'm taking things with smaller size, looking for smaller trades, looking for more scalps. And in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I've missed out on a ton. But I do think there's going to be a bottom put in pretty soon, and there's going to be a pretty aggressive bounce. Just like we saw in NVDA on the DeepSeek news, right? Everyone panicked, freaked out. DeepSeek came out, NVIDIA went from 145 down to almost 115. And then within just a couple days, this was back at 145. So this is kind of the scenario that I'm looking for here on the market. Really aggressive sell-off, and then this is just going to pick up steam. So that's why I'm trying to be very careful with this stuff, if that makes sense. Let's see. What time frames do you like using to find support resistance? So whenever I'm charting, looking for, like setups and stuff like that, I tend to start on like the 1 year, 1 day, because I want to look for big time frame support resistance. Could I go on a 5-minute chart and find all these little tiny micro support resistance? Sure. But is that where, if you had $100 million or $1 billion that you're trading, are you going to be looking at a 5-minute chart? Probably not, right? You're going to be looking at these big time frames, these macro levels on these big stocks. That's where you're going to be trying to make the most money. So that's where I try to find these major support resistance levels. So like, for example, Tesla. My big trade today was Tesla, right? So this was today. But Tesla came down to about 325 on February 11th. Bounced up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, sold off on the 7th day, pretty flat on the 8th day. And then today I'm thinking, okay, well, we bounced off 325 again. If this has a little H pattern here and breaks through these lows, this could easily slip down to 300. And look what happened, right? So once again, I found my level on a yearly chart, and then I traded it on a 1-minute chart. I found my perfect entry. I told you guys, if this bounces off the open, I'll play the low of the day. If it breaks right through off the open, I'll play a break and retest of 325. This is exactly what I did. I took an early entry here about 324.5, bounced up. I said if it broke VWAP, I'd be out. If it rolls back over, I'm looking for a 320 break. That's exactly what I got, right? Started a position here, added before the low of the day, and then sold as we broke, 320.5, 320. Very small trade for me, but a very high odds trade. And as you can tell, this did not stop, right? I could have made a ton more money, but I wasn't looking for a really massive move, even though I thought that there was a chance for it to happen. Which contract? I took the 320 puts today on Tesla. I got filled at about, I think like $7, maybe $6.50. And I sold them for, I don't know, $859, and they went to $2,000 a contract. So lots of money left on the table, but I took it, and that's it. And you still caught it, Breckle. That's kind of funny. Well, they still paid off. Yeah. I mean, on a stock like Tesla, this is why I trade these mega caps, is because if you're not going to take the contracts that I am, the 315s, the 310s, the 305s, the 300s, they're going to have enough volume to trade fine. If you can't take a $700 contract with me, you could take contracts further out of the money that are cheaper, right? I mean, we're not going to be trading the same contracts, so I can't guarantee you the same percentages. But honestly, if you took further out of the money contracts, you got way bigger percentages on it than I did, and they were cheaper. But the 310s, nice. What else you guys trade today? Anything else? This is one of the cleanest trades of the day, I think. Yeah, Surf Sleep, you don't have to do that though, man. You could go a little bit further out of the money and trade cheaper contracts. If you have a $2,000 account, to me, there's no reason for you to be trading $700 contracts. I would rather you be trading further out of the money even then and trading $200, $300, $400 contracts on a $2,000 account. Because even today, I considered it pretty light size for me, and I traded 3 contracts, which is honestly really small, and that was about $2,100 that I went in with. You're locked in on Home Depot. Yeah, Walmart and Home Depot kind of moved a little interesting lately. Yeah, NVIDIA tomorrow. Your boy, I turned 22 tomorrow, guys, and I'll get to do the NVIDIA earnings stream. NVIDIA has earnings on my birthday. I'm getting old. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Breckle. So yeah, it kind of sucks. Birthday's on a Wednesday, but this weekend I'll have some fun. I'm not live trading tomorrow. I never live trade on Wednesdays, but I will be live trading on Thursday. I'll make it for sure. I'm not doing anything crazy tomorrow. I got some parents, my parents coming into town tomorrow. I had to move this lesson up an hour because my grandma and cousins are coming in. I just randomly didn't ask for that, but they're coming tonight. So, but yeah, I'll be here on Thursday morning, but tomorrow morning I'm not live trading, but I'll be at my desk. Thank you, Jen. Broke at 58 cents at strike at 69. It made it 75, but didn't close there, so ended up losing 58. Why didn't you close, Sir Steve? 69 to $75 is a huge move. Thank you, Breckle. I'll try to enjoy it. Can you share me your lesson link? Casey, what are you looking for? The recorded video or? Coaching, yeah. So my coaching will be Thursday night. It's not tomorrow. It's Thursday night. Are you? Oh, wait. Are you wanting to sign up for coaching? Is that what you're asking about? Sorry, I don't mean to confuse you. I can send you to sign up for my coaching. Yeah, I see you're a free member, so I can get you into coaching for sure. Yeah, here you go. I'm still new and sign up for your coaching. Where will your platform? Helen, do you mind clarifying on that? Are you trying to find my chat channels or anything about that? Yeah, sorry. Here, Casey, I'll add you as a friend right now. I know. It's so stupid. Like these scammers who make accounts that are like after analyst names, they add me. Like I got added by a fake Ethan, so I added them back and messed with them a little bit. But the channel for coaching, yeah. So this is going to be my chat channel here, And then I put kind of like a watch list in the morning in this channel, and then also my day trading education. It looks like Duco. Thank you, Duco. So Breck, how I feel about the China stuff. So yeah, I mean, like things like Baba, Baidu, they've been ripping. You know, they're just not stocks I'm comfortable trading. I remember trading at the firm. They're always iffy on China stuff. Not so much for day trades. They're fine with day trading it, just kind of with technicals. But they're very iffy holding things overnight because you don't know what's going to happen on the other side of the world, right, when we're sleeping. So a lot of them just day trade them, and honestly, some of them just don't. They don't even trade them. To be honest with you, they just stay away from it. And that's kind of my view on it. I used to trade Baba. I think there's honestly been some opportunity there for sure, but yeah, they just make things up. It's hard to trust news from there. The amount of times that I've seen news out of China, come out and it not even be true, and you see it gap up on this fake good news, then the proof comes out that it's not real, then it dumps. It's just right, exactly. Yeah, it's hard. So again, day trading wise, opportunity there for sure, but swinging it and just kind of being long overnight, it's just not something that I want to be involved in, to be honest with you. But Baba, Baidu, they've been going off recently. But guys, honestly, like, we've seen some big moves, but things are just iffy to me. I don't want to go back in the whole spiel again about missing out on money, but yeah, I mean, I've missed out on some big moves down, and some big moves up on some names. But when things aren't clear to me, when I don't see a specific reason as to why things are going up and down, even if a stock or a sector is moving massively, I tend to stay away from it. I let the algos trade it. I let, yeah, I'm a scalper and I can be in and out, but to me, that just adds another level of risk that I'm not willing to take. I'd rather show up and take a trade like this on Tesla every day of the week, make my 20-30% and move on, because that's what's going to keep me in this game longer. That's what's going to build that kind of consistency that I want. And I just go from there, right? That's it. If you can hit base hits every day, you're going to survive in this and you can make a ton of money. Because, if you can make a 10% return on $1,000 account, you can make a 10% return on $100,000 account or $1 million account. I know that kind of sounds like outrageous, but it's true. If you can't make money with a small account, you can't make money with a big account. And as new traders, guys, I've been in your shoes. I want to go for the home runs. I want to grow that account as aggressively and as fast as I can. And I've done it. And then that's where you end up blowing up your account. And I've done it. I went from I was 18 years old. Okay. I grew my account to $10,000. Started my freshman year of college, excited, right? I had some money. I grew $10,000 into $50,000 in less than 6 months because I was really aggressive. I was sizing up. We're in a bull market, whatever. This was 4 years ago. And right, 10 to 50. Within like 2 weeks of time, I went from 50 down to like 25 or 20 because the market shifted. I wasn't ready for it. Market wasn't as easy as it was. And I was used to just sizing up continuously rather than, very gradually. And all it takes is 2-3 trades that you just can't accept losing on because they're quote unquote A plus, perfect setups, whatever it is, and you blow up. I didn't lose my entire account, but I blew more than half of it. And then it took me the rest of the year, if not more than that, to even get back to where I was. But going through that kind of struggle in those scenarios made me a lot better of a trader because I'm thinking to myself, dude, what were you doing? You had plenty of money to make $500 or $1,000 a day. You're 18, 19 years old. Dude, you're balling, right? That's the kind of the conversation I had to have with myself. And it made me such a better trader to this point in my life because I don't care about going for these home runs. I don't care about the moves that I miss. All I'm focused on is taking quality setups and doing exactly what I have planned taking my entries, taking my targets, taking my stop losses. And if I can just do that and it becomes muscle memory and kind of it just, it's just all statistics there, kind of make yourself a robot, you go much further and you make a lot more money in the long run than going from 10 to 50 like I did, 500% return, then losing over half of it. Right? It took 6 months for me to make that huge return and then only like 2 weeks to kill it. Why is that? Risk management, sizing up too fast, not looking for consistent gains, looking for home runs. All those bad habits can kind of add up and they can crush you. And a lot of people who blow up accounts, that's the problem that they run into, right? Sizing up too quickly, going for the big trades rather than just letting us do our job for you, teaching you risk management, giving you guys quality setups, and just taking it with the right size and the right rules. If you can stick to your rules, guys, you've won. Like that's really it. And it's obviously a lot easier said than done. But I promise you, if you just think in a kind of percentage based manner and then just sprinkle perfect risk management into it, you're going to get enough winning trades here in this chat to grow your account exponentially. And that's it. What's up, Pookie? Amen. Yeah. Welcome to Ethan's gospel session. Ethan, how do you feel besides using trend lines, support and resistance, VWAP, and blockers, but also using seasonal changes to verify a good trade? I don't really look at seasonal changes just because I'm a scalper. I mean, I don't really understand the chart that you just showed me, but look, all I use is support and resistance, volume, and VWAP. That's it. When I started, I had all the indicators in the world, every moving average, RSI, MACD, stochastic, Fibonacci. I mean, I could go on for days. ATR, I mean, just anything I could possibly find because I felt like the more indicators I had, the better I would be at trading. And that is just literally the opposite of, oh no, Latvian, there's something going on. That's literally the opposite of what you should be doing, right? And honestly, maybe you guys just have to go through that as a trader, right? And get all the indicators, realize that it's just not it's not that easy. Once I realized that, and once I realized, like, if I can't understand basic price action and volume, right, the bare bones of the market, I'll never be a good trader. No red line crossing a blue line telling you to buy a stock is ever going to work. Can you use those as confirmation? Sure. If you have a trade idea that you already have locked in and you have your entry, exit stops, all that, and the indicators line up, great. That's how you should use an indicator. I'm never taking trades based off VWAP. I'm never taking trades based off all these other indicators. I have an idea in mind from a bare bones support resistance volume macro level thinking scenario. And then if my, if VWAP is really my only indicator, if that also complements my trade, we're there. We're good. But I do think a really big part of newer traders evolving is actually cutting out the noise, not necessarily getting better at a bunch of things at once. It's actually finding something that they're good at and getting rid of a bunch of other things. It's narrowing down what you're good at. Narrowing down indicators, your strategy, the amount of trades you take. Less is more, 100%. Guys, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to the restroom real quick, and we'll keep going. All right, I'm back. Let's see. What did I miss here? Take, let's see what else. Yeah, I didn't get jumped, thankfully. So yeah, I mean, did that all that stuff make sense to me? I know I kind of go in circles sometimes when I talk about that, but I want to just hone in on those topics about less is more, cutting out all the indicators, cutting out even just the amount of trades you guys take. You really don't need that much. You really don't need that much at all. Even though on like, days like today, uh, where it feels like you could take a bunch of trades and make money, yeah, I mean, you could. But at the end of the day, you have to stick to your rules. And if you miss out on some money on one day because you stuck to your rules and then you saved yourself money the next, and didn't lose or lost only a little bit because you stuck to your rules, that's what's going to make you progress. The market's going to be here tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, in 10 years, it's going to be here. Your job is to manage your risk and stay here long enough to where you can get either a continued profitability journey or you can get over that hump from inconsistency, losing money to the point where you actually can find that consistency and make money. It really is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I talked about this with some of my coaching students the other day. Finding your edge and finding a strategy in the market's really easy. I feel like anyone in the world can find, a strategy and learn price action and learn how to buy and sell stock and options and whatever, right? Anyone can do that. It's really not that hard. The hardest part of this is the mental side of it, the psychology, because there's no other job in the world where you show up and make a mistake and you actually get money taken away from you. And that's what makes this so hard, is because if you make a mistake and you make the wrong decision, you lose money. And honestly, the whole let's see, how do I explain this? I don't know. I guess your whole job in trading is to be a professional decision maker, if that makes sense, right? You have to be extremely good at making decisions. And how do you do that effectively? Well, it's a lot of it is mental. A lot of it is just psychological. It's easy to find entries and exits and stocks that are moving in your favor and a strategy, like I said, but to make decisions on a timely manner is the hard part. I want an edge like metal blade. What are the most amount of trades you take on different stocks in a day, not including your occasional swing trade? Typically, it's one, maybe two. On the rare occasion, maybe I take 3 trades in a day. But I used to, Onrod, I used to be the guy that would take 4, 5, 6 trades a day just because I thought there was a lot of opportunity there. And on the rare occasions when you have a day like today where you could just kind of play every new low on, futures or a stock and make money, those don't come around very often. And once I forced myself to, really limit down my trades, I did much better, because taking quality trades is so much better for you than taking, a high quantity of trades. Um, like little things I would do. And honestly, yeah, sure, that may cut down your upside, right? Maybe if you take more trades, you, maybe can make more money like on a day like today. But on days when it's really hard and you have a 1 to 2 trade limit for a day and you're very disciplined at sticking to your trade idea and whatnot, on a day when the market's bad, which happens honestly more than it's good, at least for my strategy, if I take one loss, and I stuck to my stop loss. It's not, it's not a big losing day or anything like that. And I'm not worried about it. You know, that's going to save you a lot more money in the future rather than having the bad habit of feeling like you can just take as many trades as you want. That's a big thing that happens when people get over that $25,000 account mark is they don't have that PDT rule anymore and they feel like they can take unlimited trades. Can you? Sure, right? You can because you have over 25,000, but that's when you can get screwed. And honestly, so a funny story, a big reason why I switched to Interactive Brokers, not only because they had more tools for me, but even if you had under $25,000 and you only traded options, you had an unlimited amount of day trades. Your money would settle instantly. So if this was 2, 3 years ago, it doesn't work like that anymore because they kind of caught on to the loophole. But like, for example, I could take as many option trades as I want. The second, and I made this mistake one time, the second that you buy an equity, right, you buy an actual share, your account's locked and you can never go back to unlimited day trades. So I had to make a whole nother account, transfer all my money over and go again. Like I said, now it's not the case anymore. But that was a big reason back in the day when I actually joined Interactive Brokers. And that was a huge reason why I traded terribly, is because I felt like I had the ability to take unlimited trades. If I took a red trade, screw it, I'll find another trade and make that money back. Well, and then that second trade, you end up losing. Well, shoot, now I'm down more than I should and took a BS trade. I got to find another one, right? I can't end the day red. And it gets worse and worse and worse. And then it's just a death spiral of bad trades, blowing accounts, sizing up too big. I mean, guys, I've been there. I've been down, $1,000 on a day. And I had unlimited day trades. And I thought, if I can just catch a 50-cent move on SPY, I can make that money back. Let's buy 100 contracts. I'd buy 100 contracts of SPY. It'd go against me. I'd lose another $1,000. I took a legitimate trade and lost $1,000. And then I tried to scalp SPY with 100 contracts and I lost $1,000 in 5 seconds. Because all I was thinking about is getting that money back and not taking the correct trade and make that mistake. And then that 2,000 turns into 5,000 and 6,000, right? I mean, losing big, that was a reason I blew up, is that exact scenario. And, a lot of you guys, I can tell you this all I can, but some of y'all may just have to live through it. I hope you don't. And I hope you take my advice, to heart, because I don't want you to have to go through that because it's extremely hard and it sucks. Yeah. And, sometimes you guys have to learn the hard way. And I hate to admit it, but that's just how it goes. You have to go through the mistakes and the hardships to force yourself to make change. No matter who tells you this, whether it's me or anyone in the world, sometimes it won't matter. Ideally, I would love for you guys to write this stuff down and really focus on it because I can save you a lot of heartache and a lot of money. But if you don't, then you may just have to go through it on your own. And you're going to realize that I was right. Because I can tell you right now, I've gone through every mistake that you guys have, probably 10 times more. I didn't have a mentor like this. I didn't have a chat room that I, put this much effort into teaching and the psychology and, actually care for the members. They would honestly rather their members lose money because then they're going to be a paying customer for longer. The whole goal of this, guys, is to get you to the point where you could do this on your own, even though even the best traders in the world trade with other people. You need a team to do this. But, the whole point of this is to get you to the point where you're comfortable coming up with ideas, hitting buy and sell on your own. One other thing, guys, I'm going to stick around for about 5 more minutes. Looks like my family is getting here a lot sooner than I expected, so I won't be able to stick around for the full hour, but I can do about 5 more minutes. So if there's any other questions, fire away. Not at a family reunion, Duco, but other times, maybe. I can't believe you even answered that. No, TK, you really didn't. Just other than I'm not live trading tomorrow. Which days do you live trade? I live trade Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Tuesday and Thursdays are going to be the free ones where anyone can join. And then Monday and Friday are going to be premium only. So only premium members can join. Goji. Sure thing. What else you guys got? I hate to run, but they literally just said we're going to be there in 5. Thank you, TNT. Yeah, I didn't expect them to come a day early, but my parents come tomorrow. But I guess everyone else decided to surprise me today. Yeah, and there's going to be another crash, and that's why learning how to day trade will be really beneficial. Thank you, TK. For the coaching group, do you expect one to have basically understanding of trading to go straight to practical part? Yeah, I mean, I think every coach has a very basic approach. I mean, I think that swinging bull is a little bit more advanced for most people, but me and Mad Maverick, we definitely start. We actually have we have more videos coming out that we're recording. Actually, like I started recording today. It's going to be kind of like a master class. So like starting from the very beginning, Valvix, and then going a little bit more advanced toward the end. So if you do end up going into coaching with me or Mad Maverick, I don't think he's started recording, but I have. There's going to be an extra video that you're going to have access to where I walk through, the very, very basics of the market and day trading all the way into the advanced stuff. So I'll send that link again in case you want it. Go ahead and save that if you need it, but I'd be more than happy to have you. I'll get you set up. I'll also add you as a friend in case you have other questions you can DM me about. Your bio is hilarious. I'm telling you, this is the real Ethan that just added you, not a fake one. Sweet. All right. Any other questions, guys, before I get out of here? Yeah, thank you guys for being here. I'm sorry I cut it a little short, but you have to get better at it. All right, guys, have a good rest of the night. I will be in the chat tomorrow morning. If you need anything, you know where to find me. And yeah, see you in the morning. Bye-bye.